Yes. Welcome. It's been a while. It's been some crazy days, some crazy, days in past week. Last week we were never we were unable, put it like that, to bring you guys, the content we usually but we're here today, man. It's all about, learning and, having that experience. We need more of this. We need to have a community meeting as well. We need more of this, to help, uplift our community and change the outcome of certain things. So we definitely need to kind of put more effort into, just trying to find ourselves as a people and get ourselves. Yes, sir. Good evening to one and all, and take your time and come in and enter. We have some interesting things as usual to talk about as we talk about many different aspects of life, history, and many other different things. So we have to touch on different topics in our community around the world because it's about getting ourselves together, bringing about peace, bringing about unity, bringing about the truth, establishing the truth for our people so that they can have some idea about what to do for, and even if it's not about us but our kids, God, they're the future, so we have to kind of set this pathway for them so that they can maintain themselves, they could navigate themselves the right way in this life. As I said, we're here today, and we're going to talk about some different things as we get by, and we got to talk about society in itself. And today topics, we're going to start off with working, what being a part of the society and contributing to the society, working a 9 to 5 and the benefits of that. I mean, how we benefit from that, and we have other topics beyond that. So today we kind of multifaceted some things, and I hope you guys can tune in with us and enjoy. And you can definitely ask some questions as we go along, and let's get into the topics of because earlier we had a discussion with a friend of mine about working and we talk about owning a property, house, and other things, and we have to get up on our program we are. Because we need that finance, we need that, that money to sustain, you understand me, our survival here. So that's what we're going to talk about, and I'm sure there are people out there who want to leave message. As you leave them, we can get into those things as well. But we're going to start off with the working, this idea of working within this society. That's what I'm talking. I mean, I talk outside of this, where you can go plant food in the mountains and you can do your own farming or do your own whatever. Outside of the city. I'm talking about the mechanical system that was structured by people, and in order for you to have people to maintain this, industrial place, you have to have people in place, which that to be willing to work to maintain it, to keep the society up, to keep it afloat, and those in charge always benefit more than others, are those who don't have that position or not a part of it, right? So it's sad to say that, right? So we're talking about having a job here in the city, right? And first, let's go back because I have to read some stuff, and you probably watch in other videos as well that we discuss. So yes, MR mine. So yeah, big up yourself, man. And the topic is we're talking about work, man, and we're talking about the benefits of you working here, and what are the earnings, you know? What are the benefits later on for you, your family, and you know what generation well can you gain from doing a 9 to 5, and what type of a job do you need to have in order to provide for yourself, and you know, providing what are the, you know, the context behind this, and how do we set ourselves in this stone, believing that we need to be a part of this in order for us to survive. So we are going to kind of break down in different sectors, right, and see what we can, how we can bring about certain light to certain people who are probably overlooking the situation. So we're going to talk about that today, right? So it's good to be here again, and I'm, you know, honored to be here to talk with you guys. And you know, much love and blessings to everyone out there. May the Most High guide you all and protect you all, and for all those who serve the Most High, I said glory and honor, praises be unto the Most High name, the Creator of all things. That is our God. That is my God. That is your God. That is everyone's God. So glory unto the Most High, right? The Creator of all things. So honor and respect and blessings. Yes. I have one question. Is porn sinful in the book? Yeah, we definitely can get into that topic and talk about pornography, and is it sinful in the book? We can talk about that. We definitely can kind of, you know, break the tangent a little bit and discuss. Of course, the Bible is a very complex book. When I said complex, it means that there are a lot of metaphors. There are a lot of things in this book that a lot of people, if it's not resonating with you, it means that you're not a part of the generation that had this history before or years ago or familiar. So genetically, the information would have passed down, and the way that, you know, and the way that we have it's like if your father somewhere in past times, right? Maybe your father was a carpenter, right? Maybe you wouldn't get or inherit that, you know, that part of his skill, but maybe your son will or his son will. So it might skip a generation or two. Sometimes it does that. So you'll find that people who resonate with this biblical teachings. I call it biblical because the name of the book is Bible now, which it just means book, right? And you know, they had holy to it and said, because they said it's the word of God. So yeah. So let's get into the pornography part of your question. In the Bible, does it says that? The Bible wouldn't speak about porn because pornography wasn't something that was maybe a part of that culture. So the Bible didn't do that. But in the churches, people will use this. They'll often tell you, this is a forced ideology telling people, you know, that, sexual immorality. Right? And this is not in the Bible. Sexual immorality, and that means you cannot have, you know, intercourse or sex before marriage. And if you do that, then they claim that it's a sin. You know, so this is where the idea kind of stems from. And everybody have their own idea outside of what they feel that the rules or the laws in this book should be. Pertaining to them and the way they want to live, right? And not following in details the laws that are written in the book. The book says that we should love. It said there's 2 laws that hang the rest, right? Love God with all your mind, your heart, and your soul, right? And love one another as you love yourselves. These 2, you know, will fulfill all the other laws. Because once you know this, then, of course, you're not going to go out and hate on your brother, right? You wouldn't go out and cheat on your brother's wife or your friend's wife or a neighbor's wife, because then you'll be thinking, right, of yourself before you commit these acts, and thinking of yourself that you don't want these things to happen to you, so you would not do it to others. This is why it's important that we should love one another as we love ourselves. Do for, each other as would want to be done to us. So we do these things because it's very important, right? To prevent us from invading or committing, any type of evil act towards our brother. So porn in the book is not there in the Bible. Do you understand? It wasn't in the book, never was. These are ideologies from pastors and people who are trying to enforce this idea, not understanding what marriage was, or when the Bible speak about marriage, what it's talking about, right? Marriage supposed to be honorable. What is honor? You have to respect someone if you're saying that you're committing yourself to them. Now, if you read the Bible and you go through the book, it'll tell you that most of these men who have met women in the Bible, that once you meet this woman, she is your wife. Once you accept her, it's the same context of you saying to yourself that, you love your brother with all your heart, you love your brother the way that you love yourself, right? It's the same as the book tells us that a man should leave his mother, father, and take a woman and become one with her. Flesh of her flesh, bone, blood of blood. You become one with this person, right? She becomes your wife. See, without what modern twist on the idea of what marriage is, right? This modern twist you kind of lose the identity of what it is, because it's been, what you'd call it, it's been recreated into in a new form, right? And within a new system among new people that weren't familiar with this ancient tradition or custom. And there are different people who came in adapting what this book is talking about. This has nothing to do with them. It has to do with a group of people that were family members. All of them are relative to each other. And that's the Israelites. So when they talk about sexual immorality, there's nothing immoral about sex. You understand me? There is nothing immoral about sex. Sin is immoral. Bad things are immoral. Nothing good about continuing the cycle of life is bad, because sex is not just, as a lot of people do it for fun, just to have pleasure and fun. We do that. But if you watch the animals and observe them, especially a dog, a cat, they won't allow the male to have intercourse just like that. There's no pleasure in it for them. The only time they would enjoy any pleasure during that time is during mating season. And there's a time when they get in heat. And when they get in heat, they will allow, a male, whichever male they choose, whichever male is more dominant, or whatever it goes, to mate with them in that context, right? So pornography is something that, it's something within the modern society. It may have been something before that, probably didn't call porn as what they call it today, right? But I'm sure it wasn't something that maybe you had, like whorehouse or different places where this is generation of knowledge that passed down to today, whether it's just good or bad, right? Men having intercourse with women, buying, doing stuff like that, prostitution. These things are very common, and it's not just now, but pornography is not in the book about sin. Everything you do, it must be honorable and respectful. And I think watching porn is up to an individual. You choose to do that, it's up to you to do that. If you have a lustful spirit, and it's not just watching porn, right? And saying, well, okay, if you have a crave to see somebody else's nakedness, because a part of the book, the Bible said we should not look upon our father, our brother nakedness, right? So then there you go. That would tell you that, well, if you're going to do that or see it or practice the idea of watching this, you actually are looking upon someone's nakedness. I guess it is consensual, right? Because it's in the public space, right? So I guess they're giving you consent to see them, right? In that manner, right? But on the other hand, if and I know this, it's been a common topic around with pornography being, but it's not a sin in the book. The problem is it's not the sexual part of it that people are observing, trying to get into a certain mood, or trying to enhance whatever mood they're in, but sin, no. Watching your brother seeing another person nakedness, maybe there's a sin on that, you know. But I think that practicing pornography, it's not something that if you really want to sit and watch, you have to watch. You get your woman and you sit with her, and you, in your own privacy, you do whatever you have to do. But then everybody have a taste for something, because the way that the world, and the society is structured. Everybody want to be a part of something and following trends and see where they fit in, how they fit in, So I think, it's not a sin, porn, as the Christians would try to elaborate on it and tell you that, well, pornography is a sin, and, the Bible didn't mention anything about pornography. But there are fractions of this, that you have to look at by reading the book and understanding it, that tells you, looking upon someone, nakedness, which is mother, father, brother. In that context, it says it, right? So, it didn't say that in the Bible, right? So, as I said, people choose what they want to do today. You have to see what is good for you, what is not good for you, and how much of what you're indulging as a practice, because it can be dangerous. Some people watch it because it's entertainment, for entertainment purpose, because they are sexually driven. Nothing wrong with being sexually driven. It's not a sin to be sexually driven. Being driven by something is having control. It means that you can stop when you want. You can continue. You're not at fault for your nature, right? For what you feel. You're not at fault for these things, but you can control them. So you have to be able to control your sexual urges and desires at times. So I would suggest to anyone out there that pornography is not something that you should get deep into, watching this and become, so engulfed into it that you can't even go a day without it. You know what I'm saying? And then this leads to, with a lot of people, what you call masturbation, right? And it leads to this for a lot of male. And for even female as well, because when you watch this even by yourself, you begin to get aroused. The idea of someone else having intercourse around you, or you're seeing it, begin to play on your mental, and then you begin to get in this mood of wanting the same thing. So you'll follow, and if there's no one there to actually relieve you, you might want to relieve yourself. But this is where the book says you're not supposed to do these things. You're not supposed to spill a drip of your seed on the earth. There is a place for it. And the place for it is the woman. That's where your seed should be released and planted, not on the earth. So there you go, not practicing these things outside would enable you to do this, and then you'll be committing some sin in the process of you, watching these things or practicing these things. So it's not a sin watching it, having control of yourself. You can see something, but not be a part of what you're seeing. You understand me? So you can watch it if that you desire to watch it, but you have to control your actions. You have to learn how to suppress your feelings, because you'll feel a certain way seeing things like that. And I believe when you're able to control yourself, you see that there's no need to watch it. But as I said before, there's nothing immoral about sex. And they'll use this because they want everybody to get married. Marriage. As I said, marriage is acceptance, right? You accepting someone, that is the marriage. Completely. That's the marriage between a man and a woman. It's not going on a podium and say, yes, I do. Back in the ancient times, they would choose a wife, and, the marriage would be you going into her. And when you go into her, when the Bible said, and Jacob going unto her, mean that he went in and they have intercourse. She become his wife. this seal has been broken, and their bond, their sharing substance. She becomes his wife. In modern society, as you know it, you have to go in front of a priest or a pastor or whomever, and you have to say a certain word, take a certain oath, and swear on the Bible, and all of these other different things that they come. These are new ideas. It doesn't stand anywhere because we already know business in this society. I mean, marriage in this society is a business. Because marriage is not honorable here, not in this society. No way, nobody could tell me that. You understand? It's not honorable. It's a business. Because nowhere you have business and then you have people going to school to become divorce lawyers. You're supporting people for what? Just in case if something happens. So you're pushing a narrative and you're pushing another one opposing it, right? They're telling you that they don't want you to be together, and then they have prenuptial agreement. You understand me? And they have different clause and all these other different components to keep you, Yes, my brother. Masturbation would be sinful for the fact that you're spilling your seed, in the earth, and it's not going the right place where it was intended to be. So that would be sinful. Observing something without, that it plays any type of, control on your mind or your thoughts. It means that you're fully in control. You could see someone kill someone. That's not going to make you become a killer, right? You have control of your actions. So even you watch porn, you can look at it. It's not supposed to drive you. It's not something that's supposed to drive you every day. Like, oh my God, you're addicted. You have to be in control of everything that you do. That's the bottom line. You have to control what you ingest, everything that you take into yourself and that you're doing outside. You have to be able to control them. So masturbation would be something of a sin because the Bible said we should not spill our seed in the earth or on the earth. So it's not supposed to drop nowhere on the earth. And if you're doing that, it means that it's not going the proper place. You have to throw it away. And for a lot of guys, they may use contraceptives in this in this context. Preventing someone else, but they're spilling their seeds as well. So it's a lot of sinful things happening without we fully understanding what it is. It's the intent behind it, or sometimes people don't know, about it. So they don't know how to deal with, these situations. But your seed within you as a man, it's alive. It's not dead. The sperm is not, it's not dead. It has information, written microscopic information. We can't even see it. It's alive. It swims. It goes into the woman. It fertilizes the eggs. These are not dead things. It's alive. It's a seed. It has very important information written in it. What a human being is going to be, or what your son, your daughter is going to be, is written in that, probably that batch of semen that you release within the woman, and few of them go where they're supposed to go, and the woman gets pregnant. So it's very important that you understand what your seed is. It's just like taking a apple seed. This apple seed, as small as it is, has information. It's that genetic coding written inside of this thing. You plant the seed, it knows that within a certain time it's going to pull nourishment from the earth and it's going to bloom. It's going to become, it's alive. To you and I, it might be something like, okay, it's an inanimate object. It's just something that it doesn't show life to us. But when the seed goes inside the earth, it pulls nutrients from the earth. It becomes alive. Next thing you look for a couple months, couple years, it's a huge tree, right? Producing fruits with the same seed, right? With the same written information in seeds, different seed. Some fruits may be a little sweet, some a little sour, some sweet. It's variety you get, but it's the same seed, right? It's the same thing with a man and a woman. The seed that you released is alive. It goes in the woman. It nurtures there, it pull whatever nutrients it need, and it grows inside the woman. 9 months, there's a baby. So our semen what we have very, very, very important. It's not to be messed with like, oh, just throw it away in a condom or throw it away there. If you're dealing with a woman and if you feel like okay, what society is today, a lot of people are afraid to even to have any closeness with each other. No, you have to use contraceptives. So it's very difficult for people to trust the other person, not knowing what they may have, disease and all kind of things. In that saying, we can say, well, okay, well, I didn't know because there are disease out there, so I have to protect myself. So people can use this to say that, well, I'm protecting myself, so I wear contraceptives in this. But in the eyes of God, He don't care about your disease. He don't care about what you had. That's not the laws and the rules that He set in place. Men broke the rules. Men and women want to go around and sleep with this one and that one and that one and sharing all kinds of things. Not only that, sleeping with each other. You have to understand, disease just doesn't come because you're sleeping with a woman, sleeping with the other one, sleeping with our bodily fluid are not supposed to be mixed. A man semen and another man's semen is not supposed to be mixed. That's why a woman should stay with a man, right? Once you start to share herself with different, then it's mixing. Then it begins to create something different, some new virus, some new disease, because two of us, we have two different body, how the two body chemicals are different. Men and all of this go inside of one place and it mixed up like, a blender. You know what I'm saying? So, we have to be careful when you start to go outside now, people mingling with animals, having intercourse with animals. Now you start to create other things, bacteria that don't belong in the human body. It start to mutate with and start to clash with bacteria, from the animal or from the human. Both of them start or whatever happened inside, and then there's a new disease, So we have to be very careful, right? We definitely have to be very careful and be mindful of what we do and be strong in ourselves and in our faith, when we're dealing with ourselves, because these things are important. Our sperm cell, these things, we're not creators of them. We don't even know where they derive from, how they grow, what they look like, how the information is written, who written them. It's the Most High. The Creator write these information within the seed. You understand me? He's the one who write the information. So it's very important that we understand and we learn how to cherish what has been given to us. So if we don't have to waste it, don't waste it. You understand me? Find a woman that you care about and that you love and you honor and you share your moments with her. And nothing can be more pleasurable than that, my brother. I hope you get some idea of, that truth. So, but that's exactly what it is. But, we have to be very careful. That's all. As I said, there are different parts of it, different components where carry certain weight, where we have to be careful how much and how far we indulge into these things. Yes, my people. So I hope that you get some clarity from that, my brother. And any other questions you have, you can leave them there in the comment. So as I said, as we were talking, but we had to talk about everything because this is the place where we will do that. We'll be able to talk and to discuss different topics about life and history and many other things, pertaining to us, our people, and the other groups that are here as well. So, as I said, working in this place and how satisfying is that? So we're going to go back just a little because I believe I addressed this before, but we're just going to go back a little just to let you get the full context of what I'm saying, right? So there was slavery, and during the heights of slavery, the Black Africans, our ancestors, our foreparents, they used to be slave. They had to work from sun up, sundown, and they lived on a plantation. Now the plantation where they live was probably in the back. Maybe something like a barn, or there's a house there where probably 10 or 15 slaves live together. It wasn't roomed. It wasn't roomed out where, everybody, it was just, the condition wasn't something that they decided, well, we're going to give you rooms like hotel room with AC and all of these things. No. It was just a place for you to stay sheltered from the snow, from the rain, cover from the night dew. But during the day, you'll be in the field working. As hot as it was. These hot days that passed recently, I mean, America during that time was like this before. Just in the 80s, early 80s, I want to say it begins to change in the 90s, after the 90s, right? But before the 90s, it used to be blazing hot here in New York. I mean, hot. And if you guys can remember, it wasn't AC. If you didn't have money, there was no AC for you. You know, the time you get a taste of AC when you go downtown Brooklyn, Fulton Street, or on Pitkin Avenue, and you pass a store and that cool here just hit you, and you say, "Oh my God, that feels so good." And you would walk in the store and look around just to cool down, and then you leave, not to buy anything, but just to cool down. That's what it was like during that time. America was hot. I mean, it was hot. People used to sleep outside in Harlem, in Brooklyn, on the fire escape. People sleep on their fire escapes because it's hot. You have to take 2, 3, 4 showers, and by the time you take one and you're there, relax. I mean, so many. Once you pass the second, third floor, oh my goodness, you're talking about fire. I mean, the basement was always the coolest place to be. But once you pass first, second floor, you're talking about oven. You're in a oven. So during that time, it used to be very, very hot. So just use this. Right now you have AC. You could go home and just sit under your AC and cool down. Before that wasn't. It was the square window fan, and every window you look into, you probably see one AC. Out of thousands of houses, you probably see one AC, especially an apartment building, you probably see one AC in the window. You understand? And those are people who could afford it. AC was expensive then. It's affordable now because they know that it's necessary for a lot of people to keep cool from the heat. So back then, it was hot on the plantation. So imagine these few hot days that you had. Just imagine if you were a slave out there, not underneath a tree, but in the open field, picking cotton. And you can't tell the white slave master, "No, master, I don't want to be out there, it's too hot." No, you have to be out there working. Your kids, whomever you have with you, have to be out there working. From sun up until the sun goes down. You have to be picking cotton. Wasn't, we're going to work from 7 o'clock until, a 9 to 5, right? Wasn't no 9 to 5. It was very brutal. You had to work until they decide when you stop. So just imagine those days, how hot they were. Just to give you that comparison, just the other day, it was hot, 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 hot. And you had to be hiding inside from the heat. So just imagine what your ancestors went through. And while they worked at the plantation, the slave master would provide food for them. I would often give them the scrap of the meat, whatever left back that they feel that they don't want, which is the intestine, the pig feet, the what you call that, the tail of the pig, anything that they didn't want, the head, whatever they refuse, you got that as scrap. So the slaves had to learn how to utilize those parts of the meat, and they call them chitlins in down south in New York. I mean, that was it. You had to learn how to cook that and eat it most of the time without seasoning. Most of the time without seasoning. I mean, that's what used to happen. You're like animals. They just feed you whatever. Okay, I don't know what you're going to do. Here's some meat, however you want to prepare it. So they had to learn to do that. So the slave master used to give them that, and they had to feed them as well because food was necessary for them to keep working. You couldn't let them just work, 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 and die. Otherwise, who is going to pick your cotton? So they had to take care of them, make sure they have clothes, make sure they have food, make sure they have a shelter, over their heads. And in that process, that's what slavery were. You work for free. We feed you and keep you alive so you can work more. And there were breeding camps and etc. etc. They took your kids at certain age and said, we're not getting that part of the history, right? But just to give you that context, right? So now in modern times, as slavery, as they claim that slavery ended, right? During the Civil War, it was the North and the South and all of these. It's a lot of lies in there, as we can get into some history and clear all of that up. But slavery didn't end. It was a pause for a new implementation of what it should be. That means the Negro wasn't going to be free at all. This is why they had to come with the Jim Crow after they said, oh, slavery done now. Okay, Jim Crow. After that, oppression, because they didn't want you to rest and become comfortable. No. They had plans for you. And the plan were that you're not going to be a free person. You have to be a slave for the rest of your lives, working within a white society, a society that you had no part of. And when I said no part of, I'm not talking about you building, and, the things that you have done, as tradesmen and inventions. I'm not talking about that part of it. You didn't have a voice to say, well, okay, I want this, or you can say, no, I don't want this, right? And this should be the law and this should not be the law. You don't have a part of that. We never had a part of that. It means that we were in someone else's house or home where their law or the law that they made for themselves stands. And you coming inside there, you cannot infringe upon their law, right? You have to be governed by their law. You see that you bend yourself to follow the rules that they made, whether it was for their people or whether they made these laws specifically for you to keep you oppressed. And that's what happens. These laws came into play. So you had the Jim Crow era, right? And after that, then you have the civil rights movements, and then you have all these other different components. All of this was a plan from the beginning. And as things become more, because remember what America was before. If you strip everything away, this wasn't a city. They didn't find a city with a high-rise building and roadways and electrical wires underground and above. No. It was never like that. It was small villages, board house, and ideas, and different ideas come together and expand this small village. More people begin to move there, right? Because people tend to cluster among each other. It's a comfort in some way. So they come close to each other, and as they come more, the city begin to expand. They begin to build bigger houses to accommodate people, right? The town becomes more accessible. So they build and then they expand and they build and they go up. Then start having ideas. These different groups of people now begin to share ideas. How to cut roads to get to point A to point B and do different. Now we don't want to get into the technical part of how the city come together, but just to give you an idea, right? So, after the Jim Crow, then the Civil Rights Movement, they used Martin Luther King was the one. Now, okay, we have to get this guy to rally up the people, to let them think that there is a place for them. Because remember, before the Civil War, blacks in the South were doing very well. They had capital. They own places, they own land. The North didn't like that. No, 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 no. Soon, if you allow these slaves, right, who have the capability to work, to do things, allow them with capital. No, what's going to happen later on? You have to remember, these people, you were slaves before. You had nothing before. Now, you're showing signs of unity, right? You're showing signs of progress outside of the control of these people. So what do you think that they would, how would they think about you? They wouldn't want that. Not in their backyard, not in their home, not in their house, right? No way. So, and before I elaborate more, let me just explain this. I just want to give you an example so you understand this, right? If you have a house and you invite someone there, and this person is a stranger, you said, okay, you stay in the living room, right? That's where you stay. I don't want you in my bedroom. I'm giving you this space here. Then soon, this person probably multiply, have a child or so living right there in the living room. Now he wants equal opportunity in your house. Just think about that for a second. He wants equal opportunity in your house, telling you, well, I think it's fair that I share your bedroom, or I should have rights to go into your bedroom. No. The family of the home knows that you're a stranger. This is why they treat the blacks in America like that and around the world. They believe that you're a stranger. Not only they believe, they know that you are. And they're not going to allow you to make any changes to their, what they call, would be their home. It wouldn't happen. It's never going to happen. So it's a dream, an everlasting dream that will never come true. I just want to give you that clarity. So when the civil rights movements begin, they knew that how could we integrate these people? Because if we leave them alone, you have Black Wall Street, you have Rosewood, you have other communities that's just popping up out of nowhere. These people are very, they're very creative. These people had the trades. They were the one working and building. You kick them out, what do you think they're going to do? A person with trade, with idea of building and doing things, you kick him out. What is he going to do? He's going to build for himself. So they built for themselves. And when what they built were envied by the slave masters, because now they claimed that slavery was finished, right? They claim, that's what they claim, right? But it didn't. But they didn't anticipate how creative you were and how creative you would be. And they've seen it, so they have to topple over whatever you try to do. Oh, let's burn Rosewood, just say rape. And they use rape, R-A-P-E, in all these incidents to destroy black communities, right? Some white girl almost get raped, or some lies about a white woman get raped. Okay, burn the city, we believe. We know what it is already. We know the conspiracy behind it and the people in the put. So it's become, it's become a what you call it, a recitement, right? So, during the civil rights movements, using Martin Luther King was to gather the people and to influence them. He was a pastor. He had an influence. Use him, tell him about integration and dream of, on the mountain, and that black and white is going to be together. Now, you have to understand what integration would have done if black people had sit and thought about it. You're giving up everything that you have, thousands of you, to become a part of what? Something that you didn't sit and have an agreement with the government. Half of your Congress, our House of Representatives, wasn't black. Half of it wasn't white. All of it was white. All of Congress was white. The presidents were white. All of them were white. So what do you think you were getting into? You had no say. Our people had no say. This is why we're still oppressed today because the structure, the white power structure, black voices, black input is not there. It never was there from the beginning. How could you ask for equality? How could you ask for rights? It's not going to be given to you. They don't recognize you as someone who deserves anything right or any rights whatsoever. You get me? It is strange that we overlook a lot of things for whatever reason we do. But the truth is the truth, right? Martin Luther King came back and said he may have spoken out of terms saying that this and that because he knew later on, he realized what the CIA had done and how they tricked him. He said he led his people in a burning building. He knew that he was going to die. After a while, he decided, okay, I don't care. I may not get there with you. We're going to get to the promised land. We still didn't get to the promised land yet. But he said that he may not get there with us. He knew something was coming because he was breaking the rules or the agreement. And that's what it is, my people. So, well, integration, one day, it never happened. Can't happen. It's not going to happen. Integration can only happen when two parties, like you and I together, we have an agreement, right? And we said, okay, these are my people, my tribe. This is your tribe. Together, we can come together, right? And we can talk and we can make decisions together and we will vote. 5 of your people, 5 of my people will vote on what is right for everyone. That's what it is. If that's not happening, then it's no integration. It's just merely a simple control. So we have to understand that you and I together, it means that you have authority, I have authority, and we're sharing something together. We both have inputs. So if we recognize, well, this is not going well, we sit, we discuss it. We say, well, okay, you know what? This is not working. Let's talk to the people to see how they feel about it. Our voice is nothing here. You can't talk. You can't talk. Could bring 1,000 black people out there and protest and talk for some rights. You're not getting it. Why? Because you have no representative where representation supposed to be. We have no representative where representation supposed to be. So therefore, when one black person go into the high court or go into Congress or become a Senate, what does that mean? Nothing. He cannot do anything because guess what? He's employed, right, into a white system. White people who put their laws together without the input of black persons. So you're going as what you call a bully, right? Or a puppet underneath them. They're still in control of you. So when you get excited, oh my God, there's a black judge. Oh, there's a black president. Oh, there's a black thing. It's an illusion, my friend. All of it is an illusion. If you look, peel the layers back, you will see for yourself. All of it. It cannot happen. Integration cannot happen unless two individuals agreed. When during the civil rights movements, there wasn't any agreement. It was white people who felt that black people are doing too good outside and we need to have control of them. How can we get control of them? We have to use this term, integrate. Tell them to, if they integrate, it means that they're under our government, right? They're under our rulership now. Whatever we say, whatever laws we pass, they're governed by these laws. Now, it's not our people said, okay, I don't think stop and frisk is right for my people. So there's no agreement. You can't go out there and say that. Nobody wants to hear that. Guess what? The law came from a group of white men, right, who put their system together. They say stop and frisk is what they want. Who's going to stop it? Who's going to stop it? They ignore the voice of the people who think that they have the power to change anything. You can't change it, my friend. Can't change. So integration wouldn't happen. We are so-called integrated now, but this is just a new implementation, as I was explaining about, from slavery to now, and the employment system and what it is. It left from from the ending of slavery after the civil rights of the Civil War to Jim Crow to civil rights, and then no, but you had sharecrop, right? That was one of the system that was implemented, and then the same system come down. What do you think the minimum wage started for? It's for you, for me, for the black faces. Minimum wage is for us. Because now that the slave master is no longer feeding you, giving you shelter, right? Providing for you. They had to budget how they would have you still working for them through their organization, their companies, their institutions, right? And they will give you what they deem payable for you to survive. You're going to get a certain percent of money, certain amount of money. This is what you need. You're not supposed to get rich. You're not supposed to save anything. You're not supposed to save nothing. You're supposed to get your money, buy the food, and by the time you finish, next week, you're out there again working. Just the same thing now. You get up early in the morning. You go to work. By the time you come home, you get your pay. You're thinking about the third week, thinking, oh my God, I have to pay bills. Oh, my phone bill, rent, light, gas. You're talking about transportation, fee, all of these things, right? And then your money's gone. Guess what? You have to be back at work again, thinking, oh, I have to go back to work again, because you're still enslaved. You're still in slavery. This is just a modern implementation of what slavery is. This is the modern slave, modern slavery. You're not free. None of us are. We have to go through their system to get what we want. The Bible tell you that, right? In wants and need of all things, you have to go to your enemy. You have to go to them for everything that you want and you need. The Bible says that in the curse. Read Deuteronomy 28 through 68 and get a clear understanding of that. What we can do for integration? My brother, I wish there was some good way about it. But I'll give you the truth and how possible it will be for us to be better as a people. And integration is not it. Being integrated is not going to help us. Because, as I said before, they're not going to come and say, okay, we're changing the Constitution. Because remember, the Constitution is not for blacks, it's for white. They're not going to change this for you. We're just because of default, we're here, right? We end up, okay, well, we have to go by the laws. Okay, we have to do this. Okay, we have to, we have to recite, the anthem. We have to do certain things which it wasn't for you in the first place. It's just by accident you're here, and okay, you're here now. We have to find ways of how to deal with you. You're a slave that we didn't plan and setting free at all. But as society begin to grow and the old mind die out and new mind, but remember, it didn't all go away because slavery is still here, right? Slavery is still here. Racism is still here. So you have to ask yourself, did it stop? No, it didn't. It's the same thing happens. It's just a lot of people know the eyes of the world is on this country now. They can no longer hide what they did. It's just like, remember before? When there was nobody camera, right? And nobody had cell phone video to tell, and black people say, oh, they abuse us, they did things to us. Oh, no, they're just complaining. They like to complain. And then everybody come. But now you're seeing it because there's something to capture the moment, right? People are recording them now. Now you see, oh, so this is what they've been doing. Just imagine the moments and the times that none of this was recorded. What happened to us? Yep, integration will not help us, my brother. It won't. My brothers and sisters out there, integration is the worst thing that happened to us. Think about that for a second. Before black people integrated, they had Black Wall Street, right? They were doing pretty good. Guess what? The government realized that wait. These niggers, how dare they? How dare they build some city and compete with us at this level? No, we have to find a way to destroy it. Don't think it was just a mob of white people just come in there and create the problems. No, the judge, the governments were behind them. The law enforcement were behind them to destroy what you had. Because without integration, you'd be more united. You'd be counting on each other now instead of fighting against each other. You understand me? We're fighting against each other because we want a position from somebody, not from my people, not from your people, from the very people or descendants of the people who enslaved our ancestors. We want a position from them. How can I get it? How can I sell you out to get it? How can I prove myself so I could be accepted by them? You understand? When we say integration, it means we're giving ourselves up as pawns. We're giving ourselves up to be controlled, right? Now you can be exploited. When you become a dependent on someone, they could exploit you for anything. You know what I'm saying? They could say, you need money from me. Yes, I do. Okay, you know what? Lick my feet. I give you $20. You'll be exploited to do anything. That's what's happening here, my friend. Integration, as we just grew up, the younger generation and the pre-younger grew up to understand what our ancestors believed, how they felt, because just remember, coming out of, they feel like, oh my God, slavery is finished. It wasn't. They didn't understood it, right? They had no wisdom, right, about what it would have been and what the future would be like. Just imagine, the burden to be in the hot sun picking cotton was a relief in itself. We're good now. There's no whip on your back anymore. We're good now, right? The prisons, but in the whole everything leading up to this, maybe I would have felt the same. Like, I was beaten, I was in the hot sun working, and then they said I don't have to do it anymore. Freedom. I would celebrate, sing, shout, right? Not thinking that they had a plan, right? And the plan wasn't for me because my time would be up soon. It was for my children, right? My children who didn't experience what I experienced or didn't go through 1% of what I went through as an adult working on the plantation, right? So they would have felt elated, like, oh yeah, relief. We are free. But are we truly free? No. But they would have thought that, right? But then, as I said, it's not for you. Even the very things that are implemented today within the society, it's not for you. It's not for your 40, 50-year-old, 60-year-old person. They don't care about you. They know you're going to die soon. They know you're leaving this earth soon. What they're implementing is to control your children and have them the way they want. It's not about you anymore. Your time is up. What you gonna do? How many years you have to go now? You get what I'm saying? So I mean, this is how we have to look at. This is how we have to look at it. We're blinding ourselves because our parents, our ancestors, were slaves, and they were indoctrinated a certain way. And their indoctrination is what they pass down to us, to continue this legacy of oppression and depression and not knowing where we're going, not knowing left or right, not knowing anything. So if we, the descendants, don't begin to go back to the origin and said, okay, you know what, I need to figure what this is. This is not working for us. But instead of we do that, what do? We want to be included, right? We want to be more and more, and the more we want to be included, things are not working. Don't you see that? Look around you. Look, how many power do you have to go out here and block the street on your own, in your own community, and said, okay, well, we want to keep a block party here and we want to do some community event meeting. You can't do it without them. Do you get what I'm saying to you? It means that you give up your rights. Now you have to go through someone else, right? And they decide what to do. Exploitation. Again, they decide if I don't think I should let you. What if, right? I'm just speaking just for an example. What if Labor Day in 2019, 2020, the heights of the pandemic, right? We believe that, okay, I think we should have the parade, the Labor Day parade. It's good for us. We're not going to be infecting. Right? What if we wanted that? Do you think they would have let that happen? No. So you're not free to do anything you want to, because you have to go through their system. You have to go through their institution. Laws that they put in place is not by my people, your people. It's not our descendants, our ancestors who put these laws. It's their white predecessors who did this. Put these laws in place for them to maintain, to keep us where we are today. You understand? So, yeah, we should not. Integration is not going to help us. The only thing can help us is separation. Being separated. Now, separating from someone is freeing ourselves from their clutches, right? Allowing ourselves, our ideas to shine, not their ideas. We're going through their school system, learning what they put in place, learning what their recipe, not our recipe, not what's best for us, what's best for them, or what they think is best for us, right? By thinking they're analyzing or experimenting on, that's what they're doing, right? So what we learn, we learn from them. What if what they teach us is not true, right? But we go to their higher learning society, higher learning institution, and we learn everything. Now we're debating with each other about what we have learned from someone else. We're referencing to what they taught us, not what we know outside. So we're in this loop. Now, what's your reference point again? Who wrote those reference points? The very people are descendants of the people, you understand me, who don't have your interests at heart. It's their reference point. They set this point. So if you felt at some point that there's another truth, it's their lies, right? You have to go through again to try to prove the very lies that you were taught in the beginning. So it's very crazy. It's kind of sound confusing, but that's what it is, man. Integration is not going to help. Separation is going to help us. And people are going to feel a certain way because I'm telling you this. Europeans, people who are responsible, are the descendants of those who are responsible for enslaving us. They felt a certain way. It's in their conscience. To this very moment, it could never leave because no one was held accountable for what took place. So they're afraid of retribution. They're afraid of that. This is why they won't allow you to rise above them. They won't allow you to rule them. This will never happen. And if we're not in a position of power to do what's right for our people, then we're depending on someone else to do it. We're never going to get anywhere. We're going to have this elusive dream about, oh, my son, he's going to college. He's going to become the next president. The next president to do what? What is he going to do in a white caste system? Don't you see that even when Obama got elected, what happened? Oh, we gave him 2 terms. Oh, my God, he was a great president. You could say that. What did he do for you and I? Oh, he was great. He was intelligent, however we measure intelligent, right? And he did, and what did he do again? What was it? Do you remember what he did? What was important that he did? Oh, there was a black man who was a president in the United States at one time, and he was very articulate. What else was it again that he did? I'm trying to think. What? Exactly. You get what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter you become a president, a judge, as long as you're going through their institution, their system, means that you have no power. Don't you see? Even within the police precinct, if there's a black captain, he could get pulled over by police and racially profiled. Man, if we don't wake up and look at what's happening here, it's very plain to see. I'm not saying nothing that you probably don't know or don't even thought about before. It's because we're comfortable. We want more of what we see. My mother didn't get to pass down anything to me. Why? She had nothing to pass to me. My father didn't get to pass anything to me because of why? He had nothing to pass. Her mother before her didn't get to pass on why? Because he had not, there's no generation wealth there. None. And the very few who think that, oh well, I have and hive, those are the fishes who got a chance to escape the net. And they were able to jump over the net, and instead of they come back to cut the net to help the others, they turn around and say, oh well, I'm free. And I don't know about them. If I did it, they could have. You know, it's because of the cluster, this cluster that caused you to be free, right? And then you look back on your own and said, oh well, I'm free. They can do the same thing. No, we can't. Not all of us got the opportunity. Some of us were at the bottom. How could we jump over? You had a chance to get over it. Don't use, because you escaped and because you're doing good or because you never experienced racism, that it doesn't exist. So you fit yourself in comfortably like, oh, well, it's okay. I'm doing well. I never did this. I never experienced this. You've seen it on a whole. You have seen it. There's a platform called YouTube, right? And if you go there, you'll see a lot of these video experiences that black people have just walking, going about their business. It's showing you that the people, the white populace, right? Maybe not all of them, but the majority of them do not like you. They may not say it out in words like I'm saying it now, but you can tell that they don't. Whenever at any point did you see white people rally together, just get up one day and said, okay, we don't like what's happening to black people. It's, I'm not responsible for what took place 400 years ago, and clear yourself from that and clear it from your conscience. Whenever you see that, they got up on their own without an incident, without any incident happening to a black person or a black child, right? And just go on their own and say, we're protesting because we don't like this. And because we're white, our white partners or our white counterparts will hear our voice, right? They will allow us to go places where a black person can't go. So let's talk and say we don't like, we're fed up. This need to change. Have you seen that yet? Have you seen it? When George Floyd got killed, then everybody came out with black people, not on their own. That shows you if they truly care about your plight, what you're going through, they would have on their own without anything happening, would have stand up and show you that they don't agree with what's going on. So if you are blinded by that, then I don't know what to tell you guys, man. You have to wake up. Wake up and see what's going on around you, man. That's how simple it is. Integration, as much as we may take it and as much as black in America and around the world honor Martin Luther King and said he had the dream and the dream was for black and white to be together. Is black and white really together? I mean, is that, you're talking about the whites that came from Europe who wasn't a part of what was happening here. They didn't want to be a part of that. They weren't forced into it like the first set that came and say, hey, listen, this is what white people do. You have to fall in the bracket, man. This is what we do. We hunt them at night. You have to come and hunt too to prove yourself that you're a part of the tribe. Yeah. Yeah. Well, those who get to escape think it's easy. Exactly, my brother. They think so, but it's a very difficult thing. It's not easy. It's not easy, man. And I think that as we sit here and we can say a lot of things, but we have to look at what's at hand, right? And just look at the situation at hand. You will see for yourself. You don't need me to explain this to you unless you're blinding your own eyes not to see it. Because once we overshadow ourselves with the things, right? With the materialistic things here, we tend to overlook, what is right. And this becomes a problem. We have to learn how to see, right, beyond the surface. You see the projects. You see what we call the hood and the ghetto or whatever you want to call it, however you want to phrase it. You have seen it. I have seen it firsthand, right? We have lived there. Many of you have gone through the process. You lose your children there because the violence spiral out of control. People get robbed. People get killed. We've seen the lifestyle. We've seen it. You go to Poppy's store at the corner and you borrow money and you can't even pay back. You can't even go back to that store again. You have to find another store because you don't have the money. You're depending on something to come in. And if it didn't, and not that if it didn't come, but because you borrow some money from somebody else, that you have to pay them too. Would you give them that money? No, what do you have? Nothing. You can't pay Poppy, so you can't go back to Poppy's store. You have to go somewhere else. And this is the pattern everywhere. And I have to tell you this, man. We could go in the streets. We could take a camera and go in the streets and we could knock on every door and you see. You think people are living good? You think they're living good? They get up every day. You think they want to get up every day? But they have to. They have to. They have to get up. Because why? They have to pay this bill. Modern slavery is taking a toll. It's taking a toll on you. It's taking a toll on us. But in order to maintain, and we believe that we teach our kids, right? You need a career. You need this. You need that. Take it away. Take away the career. Take away all of these things and tell me, what do you have? Take away all of that. Take away the job position, the engineering job, all of these things. Just take that away and tell me, what do you have? Right back to the cotton field, picking cotton in the hot burning sun. They just sector things up in different order. And you think, oh, I have a position. And you tell your kids because they indoctrinate you. You're programmed so much that you don't even know. You get up early morning, 5 o'clock, oh my God, you have to run, not to miss the bus. Because why? To go to work. Right? You have to go to work. So you're racing. Some people fall down the stairs, hurt themselves, get hit by a car. All of these things happen in the process of you wanting to just go to this job to get your minimum wage paycheck. Or to go work and contribute your labor for 9 hours a day or 10 hours a day just to get that small portion of money. That by the time you look around, you can't do nothing. The amount of time you contribute to working, what is it? You don't have anything. You can't buy your mom a house. You can't say at will, say, oh, mom, you're going through stuff. Are you sick? I can help you. So it's it's weighing on a lot of us mind. There's some of us who, we know this, but survival is more keen to us than anything else. So we're looking for that more. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one felt this way. No, it's a lot of people felt the same way that I do, and other people out there. So what do we do now? As I said, this is modern slavery. Don't ever tell yourself that you're free and you're doing. No, my friend, we're not. We're able to go around the block or travel to another state, and if they feel like pulling you over, they could pull you and lost you in the prison system. Who is going to know? We don't know. We found something in the car. We just want to throw this nigger in prison for the night and just trump up some charge on him. Man, we've seen this happen. Come on, man. If they really want to target you, what do you think gonna happen? Because we have no true representation. because integration didn't do that for us. The way integration started out, it wasn't two-person or a group, a body of black, white together sit and agree that this is this from this point forward, we're going to do this. It wasn't that. It's just our people, right, fall under the umbrella of these people still, right? That's it. We're under their umbrella still, right? Not our own. We were on our own before, when we were able to build enough black school and black teachers and black whatever and this, that, slowly fade away. So that's what I'm saying to you, my people out there. What is the profit? What is the gain when you go out and you work? How are we going to change this? What are we going to do so that you have to work on when your time for your pension? They know that, okay, you're going to retire at a certain time, and then they fire you. I know this happened to many of people. They got fired. They find some problem to say, oh, we got to let you go, because they know they have to pay you. They don't want to pay you. You're just a slave to them. They don't, not respectfully that you're going to fire someone. No respect. They have respect for you. No. That they know that you're going to retire, and before you retire, they fired you. They get rid of you so they don't have to pay you your pension. Come on, man. We have to learn somewhere. We have to understand this. As I said, we get up every day and 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock for some, 7 for some. And we're running out of energy just trying to go to the plantation. And they're telling us, oh, you're nothing. As I was saying before, you're nothing if you don't have an education. Oh, my God, you're the worst thing. Oh, wait a minute. You're nothing if you have this. This way, you have to force your kids to go out to school. You have to force them to learn. You have to force them to become a part of what? Their system. What they want, your young, fresh, strong, young slaves to come on the plantation to work. Right? They have to be there to work. So they need fresh slaves. Right? They need them. You understand? So bring them, bring your kids, come, bring them. We need them. We need their energy. We need their contribution to help sustain our society. We need their talent. We want to brain drain everyone. We want to know what they know so we can take it away from them. We don't want them to use this knowledge to build black communities or black people. No, we want to harvest whatever they know. Right? We want to cultivate what they have. We don't want them to cultivate it. Let's take what they have from them. And that's the reality. So what is the profit? What is the gain? We get up every morning. We're so programmed. So programmed, we don't realize it. We don't see the bigger picture. Where is the bigger picture? There is no unity because we're not working for each other. Do you get what I'm saying to you? We're not working for each other. We're working for someone else. We're competing for a position that someone is giving to us. We'll even fight our own people to get it. Because we're not getting this position from our people. Where the money, the wealth will be circulating to our people. No. So I'm telling you, my people, man. Yes, my brother, big up yourself. All is well, man. We're here discussing what the naked truth is, and what life is, and working and all of these. If you're coming in now, it's all good. We have to get our people thinking, and I hope some of you guys can go back and sit and watch this video and kind of get some clarity on what's happening around us. You have seen it. I have seen it. We can't deny the reality of this. We can't. Doesn't matter what we tell ourselves, the truth is the truth. integration is killing us because we're trying to fit into something we don't belong. We don't. We don't know that. White people know that, though. They know that no. This is not gonna work. Even before they shared the neighborhood up, they had meetings. You think they didn't have meetings to say, well, okay, we're gonna have to let some black people here. A lot of white people didn't like it. No. These niggas, why around us? No, they moved out the neighborhood. When they see black people talking, they said, no, we're leaving. They don't want to be around you. Why they don't want to be around you and they're telling you about integration? You're crazy? Come on, man. Wake up. Yes. Yeah, man. We have to talk about, the reality of, our position here in this place. So it's kind of crazy, They don't want to be around you. You think they really want to be around you? Let me give you a reality. Let me throw a monkey wrench, right? Let me just throw a monkey wrench in your ideas and your belief, right? If you look around, white people will tell you that, well, I'm not racist, right? They will say that to you. And a lot of them, or some of them, may believe what they're saying, that they're not. But 99.9% of them are. We know that, right? They are racist. If they were honest and could come out and speak the truth without holding back and said, okay, I'm just going to tell the truth. I'd feel, God, believe me when I say this to you, nothing is wrong with being racist, right? Nothing is wrong with that. Racism means that, listen, me care about my race more than I care about yours. I don't hate you. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to harm you. I just feel comfortable dealing with people, right, that look like me more, right? That's me. That's my taste. That's my liking. So nothing is wrong with that. No prejudice, biasness, hatefulness. Now, these are different components, right? But being racist is normal among all people or all nations on the planet here. Nothing is wrong with it. We may not know the term, or we may have not never used this term, but racism exists between black because we're different tribes of people. So it exists between us. You understand me? Yeah. We're different tribes, so we look at each other differently. Okay, well, you have people from the island, people from different places that don't want to, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, but I don't hate you because I don't want to be with you, or because, no, when you start to practice hate with that now, this is when it becomes poisonous. This is when it becomes toxic and it becomes dangerous. You don't have to be with someone or wanting to be a part of that person's race, but you don't have to kill them. You don't like orange. Doesn't mean that you're going to go around and kill every single orange tree on the planet, right? You don't like apple. Doesn't mean that you're going to go around and kill every apple tree on the planet. No. You just don't have an acquired taste for this specific thing, right? Simple. So we don't have to hide behind, the lies and the smile and the smirks, right? We don't have to hide behind that, man. Come on. They do. I'm telling you, brother, they do. A lot of them do. 90%, as I said. They do it. I'm sorry to tell you that, man. But look for yourself. If they could come out and honestly speak, they will let you know. They will let you know that, yeah, we don't like living with around black people. Nobody just don't want to speak the truth. This is a society that is filled with lies. It's built off of lies, so you have to expect, the origin of this place, right? So they won't tell you the truth, but yeah, we know exactly what it is. So, I just want you guys to know what's going on, man, and we're here. I have your back. You understand? And I will always have you guys back, man. We're talking about the truth right here on the Naked Truth. And we're not covering anything And that's basically what it is. We're here, and another Friday for everybody that come in late. We've been here for a while now. Time is it's extending, and I wish we can. Yeah, brother, man, and thank you so much for all of you that are out there, man, who came in and support the thing. And we should have each other back, man. So when we see each other in the places where anything can, we need to stand up, as a unit, and defend each other and stand up for each other and say no. When we see wrong, we say no, this is wrong. We don't support it because we're afraid to offend someone's feelings. We can get forward. As I said, our time and our page and our story is almost complete. So we have to think about our kids, man, and how we're going to help them to progress in their future. And are they going to become the same thing in the same situation as us, right? Are they going to evolve from this? Are they going to move from this? Black for black and white for white. That's how I see it, right? Now, we can talk about when we reach to the stage of we're at the stage where we progress, or we're complete, right? Attaining the things that we wanted. Then we can also, okay, now we can make a discussion like, okay, so you want to trade, we can trade. You want your people travel, we can travel, we can do these things, but we don't have, we're not in the position to do that now. So separation, building ourselves, when we get to a certain point, then we can invite, you can't invite anybody home, your house is dirty, now it has to be cleaned. That's the build up. When you separate and build it up, then you can bring guests in. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? We as a people can coexist with anyone. Other people cannot coexist with us. So pay attention to those things, man. And I want to thank everybody tonight. Yeah, big up yourself, cool kid. I want to thank everybody that tune in and stay with us and listen to the program, man. We have to be truthful, right? And we have to talk about things that some of us don't understand, right? If something bother us, we need to bring it to the table and talk about it and have a discussion. And we need to bring things to the light, man. Talk about it. Don't care about somebody feeling hurt about it. We have to talk about it because that's the truth, right? So I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us tonight. Wish we can go a little bit longer. We do have some special guests coming in on ATO after this, and I hope you guys stay tuned for that. We'll be streaming Facebook and YouTube. So you guys can definitely check that out on ATO. And we're here every Friday. We're feeling good, man. And it's good to share information with you guys. And I hope you guys can share some information with me as well. I hope we can get together and make this thing become bigger and stronger, man. It only takes 1 to 2 to 3, and then, it starts to grow. So, I'm here, man. I'm ready. I'm ever ready. And I know a lot of you guys out there, man, you're ready too. So let's do this, man. The future of our kids depend on us, right? So we have to do something. We have to do something. We have to undone what's been done to us. So let's work on it, man. Let's get it. We're geniuses. We have knowledge. We have ideas. We're creative. What's stopping us? What's stopping us? So let's get it. Let's get it, all right? And thank everyone out there and for your questions and everything that you left, man. We thank you for that. And we'll be back here next week again, as usual, and talking about, some other topics again. Now, we'll definitely come up because there's so many topics to talk about. Sometime I'm having conversation or debate with people in the street. So sometime I come here, I want to talk about some of that I've talked about. But we definitely can have... and which I want you guys to leave some comments and thank mine for asking your question about those things that you asked earlier, and so I'm grateful for that. Yeah, big up yourself, man. And so we're here again, and we're going to do this, man. We're doing it. This is where we're starting, and we're going to expand and make this thing better. And not only for us, man, we're sharing, that with ourselves because we have a legacy to leave behind for our children and children to come. So let's do it. Let's create a better place for them, you know. So let's do that together, man, and break, break this chain that's been holding us for so long. It's gonna take a lot of us to do it, so let's do it together. And I want you guys, man, to have a blessed, night and weekend. And may the Most High bless you, and you're going out and you're going in. And we thank you guys again, once again. Stay tuned for ATO. It's coming up next after this, so don't go nowhere, man. Everybody stay tuned and enjoy the program and enjoy the music, enjoy the entertainment. Until next time, we will see you guys, man, and we wish you all the best in everything that you do, and keep the Most High close, man. Keep him very close, man. Love him with all your heart, your mind, and your soul, right? Keep him close to you, man. Everything will go right for you, right? You will succeed in everything that you attempt. So do your best, man. Keep him and try to prevent the negative things. And we thank you guys once again, and we'll see you next Friday. So enjoy the instrumental and stay tuned for ATO. We'll talk to you next time. One love, my brothers and sisters.